Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Jessica Abernathy, and with me today is Tricia Montgomery, and you are listening to Pets Are Family. Morning, Tricia.
Hello, Jessica. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
The Bears. Go Bears.
It's preseason, man.
Are you embarrassed to be wearing that shirt?
Nope.
You sure about that?
I've been a Baltimore Orioles fan all my life, so if I could be an Orioles fan, I could be a Bears fan. And anybody that knows sports knows what I'm talking about. So, yeah.
I don't follow football. I just don't, except for college football, and that's Alabama. College football I love, but for some reason I am not a fan of just regular football. And the only reason I was last year was because of Taylor Swift.
Oh,
And
jeez.
Travis, whatever his name is, that guy.
Well, I think I do not follow them, but I'm pretty sure they're still together. So you might have to still follow it this year.
I think they are, and I think I just saw that she canceled her tour, or they canceled her tour because of terrorism or something like that. What is going on with our country? But we're not even going to talk about that. I'm just like, ah.
Okay,
The
apparently
world
I
could
gotta
be
stop. Yeah, I gotta stop listening to books on tape or something or podcasts because I didn't hear that. Or I gotta find
Yeah,
her
I tell you what.
podcast.
It happened yesterday, I think, and then this morning they
Oh,
announced like 3 tours in Vienna. But here's my thought on the entire world. Don't you think that if dogs can solve the world's problems? That's what I truly believe. So yeah, I do.
maybe.
Yeah,
I know you do. I don't know about dogs solving the world's problems. I think cats could. You know what I mean? If we're all more like a cat society, it would be a lot easier. It's just like they just don't care. They don't. They just don't care. A lot of us
but you
just
got
stopped. A lot of us stopped being nosy and just didn't care. It would be a lot easier. But you know
yeah,
what I mean? But
nosy.
we got too many nosy Nellies. I mean, look at the next door app. Every time you open that or I get an email from it, it's always like, oh, what's going on cross streets? And I'm like, why do you care? Like seriously.
I I've never opened the Nextdoor app, and I don't know what it is.
Well, I have a
Hold
few
on.
businesses. Yeah. Next door app is like you keep track of what's going on in your neighborhoods. You know what I mean? So
Ooh.
like, yeah. So it's like if
I don't want
you,
to know.
well, that's exactly it. You know.
I have no desire. You mind your business, I'll mind mine. I've got great neighbors though. I do. I
Yeah.
really do. Well,
I do
Jessica,
actually.
it's
Yes.
been, I mean, it has been crazy here, and which is why, we're going to address this topic today. So, um, I'm in Florida, and we have been. I said to Jessica, I felt like Noah's Ark and the animals were coming without the animals coming in two by two, and without Noah or the Ark. We just had all this rain. It was like 80 million days of rain straight every day, at least
Yep.
40 nights of rain. And this past weekend, the one of the first hurricanes, Hurricane Debbie, hit landfall and in Tallahassee, and then kind of went up the west coast, which is where I am. And I was sending you videos of all the rain, and just it was just I think they got up to about 65, 70 mile an hour windstorms. The rain, I live on the water, I live on a canal, and the water rose. It was went above my dock, went into my yard, and that's pretty scary. I mean, it just is, because especially
Mm-hmm.
when you got Mr. Frank right there, who has to go to the bathroom, and not good to have him off leash at any, especially at a time like that. But today we're going to talk about that, and you had some insights as well that you've been involved, like landslides, and I'm not going to sing Stevie Nicks "Landslide." I won't do
No,
that.
please don't. Because I had a hard
Right
time
in
with
my
the.
head.
Yeah, it's sing it right here. And I'll just dance to your tune in your head.
I cannot. It's so funny. I cannot. All of a sudden, a word comes in, and the song just. Is there, I mean, is that normal? Do normal people, does that happen to normal people? Am I normal when that happens? Because it happens all the time. I can be
You're
in a big meeting, and all of a sudden somebody will say something. I'm like, song, scroll, and it'll just play in my head, and I'm listening to the meeting. I shouldn't say
I
that because I
don't
think we have some clients listening here.
I don't listen to music that much anymore. I either listen to a
Oh, I do.
podcast or a book. You know what I mean? I listen to like, yeah, I'm going to feel old now. I listen to 90s crap. You know what I mean? I mean, back in the day. But I like somebody talking to me anymore, or I put on that dreaded spa music or something, or something piano-y,
Yeah.
but that's it. So, no, I don't have that problem as much. You know what I mean? Unless you or my sister calls me and puts some weird, one of those songs in my head and it's stuck in my head for the day. But
Yep.
you and my sister are really good at that. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much.
Hmm.
Okay, but you've had landslides, correct?
I'm in Colorado.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yep, they just had another big one up in the mountain pass. They just had another one. Took out a good portion of the highway. It's gonna be closed for, I bet you, a good year. Good year.
Wow, wow, wow.
Hmm.
Well, I think we've both been involved in tornadoes, Midwest, hurricanes definitely, but we're going to talk about that today and just provide some, maybe some tips and some things to think about. And yeah, well, there's no go, go, go because we are here right
Here,
now,
here,
right here,
here.
right here, we're here, right now, right now. So I'm gonna kick. So this past weekend we had so much rain, and to where I mean it was just I've got Frank a raincoat now, and so he's out in his raincoat. I've got this massive purple poncho. Thank you, Amazon. I got in the nick of time, and my neighbors were looking at me like, "What are you doing outside?" I'm like, "I've got a puppy. I have got to walk him. I can't just, that's just." And so this poor guy was just so upset, but he had to go. You have to go to the bathroom. Um, but there was one point that we were walking towards the bottom of my yard, and it kind of slopes down, and the water that was, the tide was, it was just like was rushing, and he tried to go towards it, and because he loves the water, he goes in the pool all the time, and he loves his
Yeah.
baby pool, and loves the big pool too. I've had him swimming since he was, I think, probably 8, 9 weeks now. Yeah, it's crazy. He's officially 5 months old, by the way. Um, and I'm like, oh my gosh! And he was wanted to play in the water, so very much drawn to that water. And so I realized how important. Thank you, Jackie Schimmel of TNT Canine Fit Club. That crate training is, and this whole thing about crate training, because I've haven't had a puppy for a long time, and how the importance of crate training is, that if we had to evacuate, how very important that is, and that they're okay with calm crate, or cage or dog in or whatever I'm saying now, and those key words are so important that they listen, and starting that at a young age. And I'm thankful that we were fine, and it's just getting started here in Florida. But I want to talk about some key things that I know of, and that's of you've got to be prepared, and you've got to be storm ready, at least here, because and then also along with that, think about all the standing water that when we had the hurricane here, that leptospirosis and just the increase of diseases can happen, that all of those things as well, so we need to prepare for that. But think about first things first, and that's really food and water. Jessica, how much food do you think that a pet owner should have on hand, um,
At
in this
least two
situation?
weeks.
Okay, at
At
least two
least
weeks
2 weeks. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, think about it. I mean, you've been in situations, and so have I. I mean, think when a hurricane comes through, because that wipes out your power. That wipes out your
Oh,
ability to get from to within the blocks of yourselves. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That wipes out the power in the stores. That wipes out your food chains. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah.
usually takes a good 7 to 14 days for everything to start, working again. So you need at least 2 weeks worth of food of some sort. You know,
Excellent.
and if you
And
and if you
fresh water.
yeah, yep. And I was going to say, and if you feed raw, I mean, and most everybody knows that I feed raw, like I do, you need to have something as a backup too, because that's not going to work. You know what I mean? So you have to
Yeah.
be able to you have to have a backup to that. Just, like
What would you be
dehydrated.
your, okay, so you do a
I would
dehydrated food.
I would have dehydrated on hand. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So that way it wouldn't throw his body off so much, because then we would just rehydrate, and you know what I mean? So he's not thrown, because that would just throw his poor body way off. But you just have to be
Yeah.
mentally prepared for, a situation like that, you know.
Yeah. Well, also, water, fresh water, their
Yep,
medications, their medical
yep,
records, anything like that. Because if you have to evacuate, you don't, and then think about if if your veterinary clinic may not be online or whatever, and then something happens to them, make sure that those medical records are with you. Carriers and crates. I now have one, two, three, four crates, just in case. I keep one in my car. I have one, two here, and then I have another one. And so it's important to always
yeah. We
have those.
don't. We I was gonna say we have 4 crates,
Hmm.
but I have 3 animals,
Yeah,
so I can.
I have one.
And I no offense, I got Chunkamonk, which you guys have never met Chunkamonk, but I got Chunkamonk in here. Before we end, I'll show you Chunkamonk. We got Harry. You guys have never met Harry, but he's my third one, and he is bigger than all of my animals put together. So, I mean, but he's a big guy. I mean, I could probably get Harry and Vinny in one if I really, really, really had to. But in
Yeah.
reality,
Well, it,
they all need
well,
their own.
space is an issue too, though, Jessica. Think about that.
Yeah.
If you got your car and you're leaving in your car, I think also along with that, leashes and collars and harnesses and everything like that is so important. And then one thing that I want to mention is making sure that your pet is microchipped. We know that one in
Yes.
three pets get lost, and they're never to be found, and they never are returned home. So it's super important to have your pet microchipped. I know there's many brands right now, whether it's Animal Tag, Farm and Yard, they're all offering right now the QR tag along with the microchip, and so that way you can easily scan that with your phone. If the person doesn't have a scanner, then they can just do that with their phone, and make sure that you're doing that with everything, because collars can come off, they just can. So it's really important for that.
Yeah.
From a what about cats? Kitty litter. What about that? Because you're a
Well, you
cat
should.
person.
Yeah. Yeah, not really, but I'm forced to be. I mean, not well. I guess I am.
Meow.
Um, Yeah, me. Yeah. I mean, you have to have like. I mean, I have an extra box in my garage, so I have an extra box and I have a box of litter in my garage. Just wait. If we needed to go, it's ready. You know what I mean? So it's. I have one box, one bag, box of litter, so we would make it for at least a week to 2 weeks with that, easy for the
Yeah,
two
yeah.
guys. You know what I mean? So they would be fine. Harry would be the one that would have the hardest time. Bin Laden, he's like a dog. He's like, where are we going? What are we doing? Harry would be the one being like, what in the ever living heck are you doing to me, woman? Take me
Again.
back. Yeah, take me back. Yeah, he would not be happy. He's like, first you gave me that cat. Now you're giving me a puppy, and now you're taking me away. Why did you come into my life? That would be him. I could just see that caption.
I don't I don't think so. I don't think so. So on that note, Jessica, do you think that it's harder for cats or for dogs during a situation such as that? Or
Oh,
not?
cats, definitely. I
Okay,
truly
okay.
think it's the cats. Because,
I
I
do
mean, if
too.
you think about, yeah, because if you think about it, we as dog owners, okay, let me just put it this way. a good portion of dog owners, I would say at least half of us, we drag those dogs everywhere with us. You know what I
Everywhere.
mean?
Everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, Brutus goes all over the place. You know what I mean? So they're used to getting in the car. They're used to going out into different
Yeah.
environments. They're used to being around people. They're used to doing all kinds of stuff. Now, Fatty McFatty here and Grumpy McGrumpy over there, you know what I mean? They don't leave the house, you know what I mean? And when they
Yeah.
do leave the house, it is to go to an event, and they don't like that
Not by their
either.
choice. I'm not leaving by my
Nope.
choice, and you can't make me.
Right. And Harry just looks at me when I bring up that tree. He's just like, nope. You know what I mean? Benny doesn't mind it. Benny, because I was smart when he was little, I always left it out, and he plays in
Right.
it. He likes it. But I wasn't around when Fatty McFat came in, and he's just like, mm-mm. He looks at that and he's
Oh,
like, lady, nope, nope, nope. But I think they have a harder time and they stress out easier, you know.
yeah.
So I feel bad for them because they don't get it. They don't understand what's going on. Dogs are like, hoo-hoo, we're on an adventure. Hoo-hoo-hoo. You know what I
Well,
mean?
on that note, I think it's important to keep calm because I think that we talk about anthropomorphism up and down the leash because if I'm calm, so what I tried to do with Frank was make it fun for him to go outside, even though I was almost blown over by the wind and the rain. To make it fun, like, hey, we're going outside. It's okay. I'm out here with you too. I don't want to be. I don't like you right now. Why did I get a dog right now? All these things are going, but you're doing it in that voice, like, la, la, Why?
You're like, nope, I don't want to do this anymore. Nope, I don't.
Oh
No,
my
I
God.
get it.
That's
But like, see, but
hilarious.
it's funny because with Brutus, we have it so like, I mean, because the biggest thing is you got to get them comfortable with riding in a car. You know what I mean? And you hear people
Right.
say that my dog hates riding in the car, and you just got to work with them, especially when they're little. You know what I mean? So like, anytime I put on like my sneakers, boom. Yeah, that is hilarious. He's like, oh, I remember you sending me that too, because he had that. I even texted you back. He's got that look on his face like, Mom, why? And why are you taking a picture of this evidence? But what?
He's fluorescent. Also at nighttime, you can see him. He's like the Green Lantern out there. Like I'm like, I can see you.
Well, with Brutus, we play a game. I'm like, he knows that we could do the bye-bye game. You know what I mean? I'm like, you want to go bye-bye? He knows that means that we're heading right outside and we're getting in the car. You know what I mean? So it's like, you want to go bye-bye? And he's like, whoo. And he just sits there right by the door like, nobody is leaving this house without me. You know what I mean? So it's
Oh
a
my
it's a
God.
fun game to play with them. But he, in an emergency situation, it's like, Chris, let's go bye
Yeah.
bye, let's go bye bye. He's like right there. You know what I mean? There is, and I did that with Teddy too. You know what I mean? I would be like, Teddy, let's go bye bye. I did that as soon as I got him, and he would didn't even have to have a leash on him. And I'd open the door, he'd
Yeah.
be, and he would either be on whose car was it? He'd just be bouncing back and forth trying to figure out which car he was getting into. He's like, "Ooh, where are we going?" But I'm going somewhere, you know. But
But
that's
I
what the
think
word meant, you
it's
know.
consistency and those learning those words are so important. But Jessica, right now there's wildfires going on right now, and
Yeah,
a lot of other
that's
things
no
are happening
joke.
right now related to tornadoes in the Midwest. We have hurricanes here. I think this weather's getting a lot more volatile. So, do these emergencies, like the recommendations, do they apply across the board, or is there anything like if you're in a fire? You know, something different? Is there a wildfire? What do you do? Is there something different that you should do? I think there's a one kind of a template per se. But what do you think?
I mean, I think your emergency preparedness part is all the same. You're going to have food. You're going to have, all your supplies are the same. You know, what I mean, you got to think about that. You have to make sure that you have, something to evacuate with. You know what I mean? But I think each individual disaster has its own little thing it might need. You know what I mean? Like obviously rain. If you have a way to keep your animal drier because after a while that being so wet's gonna pickle things and it's gonna
Yeah.
irritate skins and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's you probably want to have some way of drying them eventually. In fires, you want to make sure that you have in your kit, you want to have some cream of some sort, so in case they
Yeah.
get burnt. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So you know what I mean?
Oh,
Earth, yeah. So you got to think about like your area. So like in the Midwest, you can have hurricanes and fires. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to prepare yours a little differently. Where in Florida, you can have earthquakes and flooding and possibly a fire. You know what I mean? So your kit might be a little bit more robust. California, they just pretty much have it all except for the
yeah.
hurricanes. But hey, they're probably going to come there soon. So they should have everything. You know what I mean? Me here in Chicago, which, apparently tornadoes are coming into the city now more often. I kind of
Yeah.
need everything, you know what I mean? A little bit. I just don't have hurricanes. So, but you
Good.
get what I'm saying. You
And
have
let's
to
hope
you
you
have
don't
to
get
think
those.
about what's oh God, no. But you have to think about what disasters are in your area. And then upon that, you have to think about like if you evacuate, where are you evacuating to and where can you go with your animals? Because there
Right.
are so many places that like if I evacuate today, can I take my animals with me and will they be accepted? And that's one of the biggest things that you hear is that they won't let me come with my animals. Well, then
Yeah.
sister, figure it out and you need to
Yeah.
be prepared ahead of time. Like if I've got to evacuate, do I have to drive to my
Right.
sisters in Florida or do I have to
Yeah.
drive to my best friend? You know what I mean? Because
Well,
I might have to go further.
yeah. And I will say this. Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida has done an amazing job making sure that pets are taken care of. I mean, from listing all of those shelters that you can go to in case of an emergency, in case of an evacuation, that are identified as pet friendly, and that you can bring your pets there. So, hats off to him for caring about the pets and understanding how important that is. And I think other governors have done that as well, making sure that's done. But yeah, because it is important. Where do you go? I remember when the hurricane hit here. I was living in Georgia, so we just kind of hightailed it back up to Georgia. And so kind of outran the hurricane basically, and then but coming back and the power was off for what, 2 weeks here, just
Probably
crazy.
about
So
that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it was. So I think it's just, yeah, just being prepared, making sure that kit. And Jessica, you're talking about, I think we've got an emergency kit, and that if people sign up to the newsletter, we're going to give that away to them free of charge. Is that right? We're just going to gift that to them?
We have basic emergency preparedness like handout, a sheet. You know what I
Oh,
mean? It's not perfect. It's not, I mean? It's basically, stuff that, through the years of me pet sitting, life, you know what I mean? Having animals, working in our industry. So we kind of put together a manual. I think when I'm completely done it's about 8 pages. So probably about 9, 10 pages by the time I'm done it. We'll have that out and ready for you. So if you sign up for our newsletters and get involved, I'll make sure you get a copy of this because it'll be good. It's just good to have on hand to make sure, you know what I mean? And then
absolutely.
also one of the things too is make sure you have a way to take your animal out of your house because a lot of people don't do that. They bring home the animal and they never get a crate. And if you don't, think about your hampers, your laundry baskets. You know what I mean? You've got to remember you've got to have a way to get your animal out of the house. You know what
Amazon
I mean?
boxes.
Because that's the other
Amazon boxes. Well, and another shout out here in Florida, Cape Coral Animal Shelter and Veterinary Clinic, and I believe Gulf Coast as well. They're giving away free crates right now. So if you don't have a crate, you can get one free of charge there. And just hats off to those two incredible humane organizations. And shout out to Darcy on your new executive directorship position. Yeah, but it's just, I think there's just so much to think about, that what we need to do and how we need to do it and how we need to take care of things and the importance of that. And I think it's happening sooner. I think these natural disasters are going to happen. And I think with the heat rising and the weather and the rain and things like that, because I don't remember this much rain in years past. I don't remember. hurricane hitting this soon into the season. And that's and it's we're
Yeah.
predicted here to have one of the most intense hurricane seasons in Florida than we've ever had. So it's a question of, where it lands. Do you get afraid, or do you just, go, hey, we're just going to ride it out and just be prepared?
That's interesting too because it's we've had a lot of rain this summer too, a lot more than we normally have. I mean, a lot more. I mean, it's still green. You know what I mean? 'Cause normally by now it's brown, but it's still green out there. But the other thing too is we've had really, really mild winters. I mean, the last 3 winters have been tremendously wild. I can count on one hand how much it snowed last year here, and I can count on one hand how many inches we got last year. I mean,
Oh,
we
wow.
got nothing. I mean, yeah, it was cool. Don't get me wrong. It got cold a couple days, but we really didn't get any snow, which is concerning because that means it's just getting warmer and warmer. So if we have a really, I mean, you guys are having a lot of rain. I'm worried that we're going to have a really heavy snow this year, but I mean, we might not because everything's getting warmer.
Yeah, agreed, agreed.
Maybe Chicago might be the perfect place to live if I give it 5 more years. You
I
know what I
don't know
mean?
about that
Maybe it is. Who
one.
knows?
Not sure
Hey,
about
who
that
knows?
one.
You know.
Jessica, tell me,
So
we've got some fun stuff coming up here. We've got a couple great podcasts come up. We're not going to let the cat out of the bag yet, per se, but we got some really great things coming up, as well as we're going to be doing another webinar. Is that right? August 28th? Is that
yes, at the end of the yes, August 28th, we're doing another webinar because the first one was such a big hit, so we're going to do another
yeah.
one. So that's exciting. On pet grief, another one just on how to deal with our grief and our pet loss, which is it's good. I mean, and in between the last one and this one, I had to put down my heart dog, so can't talk about it because I'll start crying again. So this one will be interesting for me because I'll probably bawl my eyeballs out on this one. And I'm not a crier, so that is even more interesting for everybody because everybody keeps it blows everybody's mind that I keep crying. But yes, we're going to have that. And we've got some really cool people coming up on our podcast. We've got a big one this weekend. I'm going to probably drop a special episode over the weekend. Well, and this will be out after that. So a couple weekends earlier, we dropped a special episode. So that one will be fun. And then we just got some really fun stuff coming up. So I'm excited. So we'll keep going with it. So,
Guys,
and
you are the best
go
audience
ahead.
in the entire whole wide world, and we love you guys so much. And we're going to be coming up with some fun gear here coming up soon. I think it's Q4. We're going to be introducing some fun gear for Pets or Family Fun Gear. So, like, you can wear your Pets or Family proudly to support Pets or Family. And then everything that we do also goes back to charity. Remember Moose's March? You can see little Mr. Moose in the background.
Oh, wait, Giving Tuesday, we need to bring that up.
Yeah,
Sorry, I didn't
Giving
mean to cut you
Tuesday.
off. Because
No,
I,
please cut me
yeah,
off. Please cut me off.
yeah, that one,
Every
yeah, I'm cutting you off.
every day is Giving Tuesday at Mrs. March. So we are raising $50,000 to support our matching giving program for Giving Tuesday. We've got a donor who has committed to $50,000. We are raising $50,000 in advance of Giving Tuesday. So moosesmarch.com, go to moosesmarch.com and get that, make that donation so it will be applied to our Giving Tuesday campaign. And just we've got some incredible donors there. Also on that, just we're all over the map today, but our early detection of pet cancer is officially kicking off. We're going to be providing test kits in Columbus, Georgia, and at Gulf Coast Humane Society here in Cape Coral, Florida as well, and starting that process as well, and some really amazing things happening with that. Also, we've got a virtual walk coming up in November for pet cancer awareness, and you can walk from anywhere, you can run from anywhere, and everything can go to support Moose's March. And our we want to focus on the early detection of pet cancer because we think that we can save so many more lives, providing hope and quality of life. Jessica, I love
Yeah,
you.
I love you
And
too,
we're,
girlfriend.
yes. And a couple shout outs, and then I'll be shout out to Colleen Rowland and the beautiful team from the Association for Pet Loss and Bereavement. They're absolutely incredible. They're doing incredible work. If you are going through a pet loss for anticipatory grief, if you've recently lost a pet, if you're struggling, or if you need someone to talk to, they have a chat room that is for free, and that's the Association for Pet Loss and Bereavement.org. I also want to give another shout out to our beautiful friends at Farm and Yard. They have just been absolutely incredible to us, and everything from food to microchips. There's some incredible things coming out that I think that we're going to be able to share soon. But love that team over there at Farm and Yard, and they are committed to the animal welfare crisis, and thanking them for everything that they're doing for the animals, and taking care of those people who take care of the animals who can't take care of themselves.
Yeah, there you go. And I always give a shout out to Kathy Delaney. Hi, Kathy. She's with the National Association of Professional Pet Sitters. So if you're looking for pet sitters, go see her on their website. So, and I just have to say, next year is my last year on the board. I've been on the board for, I think, 11 years. I know, next year's my last year.
That is a
I know.
long term.
I mean, I'm not excited, but I
You're
am.
like a senator. You're like a politician or a senator.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? I'm not going to go to jail when I get done. Sorry, I do live in Illinois. I do live here in Illinois, but no.
Oh my God.
That
Okay.
made it funny. So, all right, guys, we will see you next week. And we love you all. So, have a great week. Talk to you later.
Thanks for listening to Pets Are Family. You can find us on all the channels now. Yes, all the channels now. So make sure you share us with your friends, your families, and your coworkers, and anybody that has a pet. Make sure you like us, give us your feedback, tell us if anything that you want us to talk about, all that fun stuff. You can reach me at Jessica at petsourfamily.net or Tricia at petsourfamily.net. Thank you for everything that you guys do, but make sure you like us, subscribe, check us out on YouTube. You can always see what we're up to. And we want to thank all of our sponsors, all of the people that support us. We love every one of you, and we can't thank you enough. And remember, check out Moose's March, moosesmarch.com, moosesmarch.com. Come check us out. Talk to you guys soon. We'll see you next week. Bye.